The condo market is experiencing a high volume of mortgage defaults. Why would that be? Well, during COVID, there was a huge appreciation value in real estate across the board, but specifically the condo market. As these mortgages ended up being placed on these properties for closing, the issue is that there's affordability. Inflation has hit Canada with all goods and services on the rise, coupled with the fact that you now have US tariffs that are now also hitting Canadian market. It's making it more difficult for homeowners to be able to afford gas, food, etc., and the necessities of life, let alone paying their mortgage. Problem is that some have fixed mortgages of 5% or higher, and originally they were in a situation where they weren't expecting these high interest rates to kick in. Now they're in a situation where they say, I need to refinance my mortgage, but the value of the property has dropped dramatically. So if the condo market has dropped 25% and you need to qualify for a refinance and there's not enough equity, the bank is not going to lend you money. The only options that you would have are potentially a B lender, but they're not going to lend you money. So you're left with private financing, which is at a high 10%, 12% or more. The numbers just don't work. You're in a situation where you can't afford to pay and there's no out, in which case the property needs to be sold. The number one thing to do is speak to a real estate agent to try to see what the value of your property is. Speak to a real estate agent in order to see and determine the value of your property, to determine whether or not selling the property is on the cards. Otherwise, you're speaking to a mortgage broker to see if there's any financial institution that can get you out of this mess in order to lower the interest rate and make manageable payments. If you're not in that scenario, it seems like you might be one of the many where the bank will end up selling the property for you. Make sure that you're speaking to the necessary entities to try to determine where you lie. And of course, if you have any questions or concerns, you can reach out to us anytime.